ceasefire is supposed to mean peace. But what if I told you the deadliest strikes in months just hit Gaza? This is Kenya News Update today. Coming up, you'll discover the shocking details of an attack that killed 32 people, including children, and why a deal brokered by US President Trump is now hanging by a thread. At least 32 people have been killed in a wave of Israeli airstrikes across the Gaza Strip on Saturday, according to local authorities. The Civil Defense Agency, which is operated by Hamas, says children and women were among those killed. But here's the twist. This happened under a ceasefire agreement. Palestinians have described these strikes as the heaviest since the second phase of the ceasefire, brokered by US President Trump last October, came into effect earlier this month. Meet Samer al-Atbesh, an uncle, a witness to horror. In Gaza City, an airstrike hit a residential apartment, killing 3 children and 2 women. We found my 3 little nieces in the street. They say ceasefire and all. What did those children do? What did we do? That's the question echoing through the rubble. The Israeli military confirmed that a number of strikes were carried out in response to what it said was a Hamas violation of the agreement on Friday. Both Israel and Hamas have accused each other of violating the truce since it came into effect last year. And then, something shocking happened. In one attack, helicopter gunships hit a tent sheltering displaced people in the southern city of Khan Younis. 7 of the victims were from one displaced family. The strikes hit residential apartments, tents, shelters, and a police station. But here's what nobody's talking about: the timing. The strikes come as the Rafah crossing, Gaza's border with Egypt, is due to reopen on Sunday after the IDF recovered the body of Israel's last hostage earlier this week. It's a fragile moment shattered by violence. Here's the part that will blow your mind. The IDF said it had, together with the Israel Security Agency, struck targets in various locations, including 4 commanders and additional terrorists, as well as a weapons storage facility, a weapons manufacturing site, and 2 launch sites belonging to Hamas in the central Gaza Strip. They claim 8 terrorists were identified exiting underground terror infrastructure. Hamas has condemned the strikes and urged the US to take immediate action, adding that these ongoing violations confirm that the Israeli government continues its brutal war of genocide against the Strip. So what does this mean for the ceasefire? In January, U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff announced the start of Phase 2 of the ceasefire deal. Under Phase 1, Hamas and Israel agreed the ceasefire in October 2025, as well as a hostage prisoner exchange, a partial Israeli withdrawal, and an aid surge. Now that entire framework is under threat. The international reaction is swift and severe. Egypt's foreign ministry condemned the strikes and urged all parties to exercise the utmost restraint. Qatar, one of the key mediators during ceasefire talks, also denounced the repeated Israeli violations. Some say it's a necessary response to terrorism. Others say it's the massacre of innocents under a false banner of peace. But the real question remains, can a deal survive when the first response to an alleged violation is a wave of airstrikes that kills dozens? Do you think this marks the end of the ceasefire, or can it be salvaged? Drop your take in the comments. Subscribe to Kenya News Update today for more breaking global news that impacts us all.